going to go ahead and get started just a hair or two earlier than what I had planned. But good evening, Meteorologist Shane Smith here. It is Sunday, March 22nd, 2026. We are just a few minutes shy of 11 o'clock Eastern. Hope y'all are doing well. We don't have any active warnings in Kentucky right now, but we do have a couple just across the Ohio River. And I thought we would jump on here, take a look at those, see what they're doing, track these storms as they move into northern Kentucky, and figure things out as we go. So be sure to let me know where you're joining from. Let me know if you have questions about the weather tonight. Be sure to like and subscribe if you're enjoying our content. Austin Kendrick with the first question of the evening from YouTube. When's it going to rain for Pikeville? Couple hours, Austin. Couple hours. We can actually switch over to our future radar. About 4 or 5 o'clock tomorrow morning, my friend. 4 or 5 in the morning for you fine folks in Pikeville. Tiffany Turner asking, will it get severe in Corbin? Right now, looking like the chances of severe in London and Corbin are very low. We're going to get to that in just a second. But the chances in southern Kentucky are very low. This mainly looks like a northern Kentucky event tonight, Tiffany. So this is going to be for my friends Lexington to the north of I-64, Louisville, Frankfort, Dry Ridge. Got some friends just over the river in Vevey and Madison, Indiana. Probably going to get a little windy up that way here in a bit. Owenton could see some decent storms. Crittenden, Williamstown, Georgetown, Dry Ridge, Independence, Florence. All the way over to Maysville, Cynthiana, Paris, Carlisle, Flemingsburg, Falmouth, all have a decent shot of seeing some strong to severe thunderstorms tonight. Let's go ahead and we'll zoom out to the big picture, show you all what's happening, and then get a little bit more specific with what's going on. We had record-breaking heat today across Kentucky. We had temperatures soar into the 70s and 80s, and some places actually hit 90. We may pull up the Kentucky Mesonet here in a second and check out some of the temperatures that they recorded today. It was just a little bit unreal, just how warm we got today across portions of Kentucky. Actually, let me go ahead and get that pulled up real quick, and then we'll take a look at that, because I think that is a interesting data point for tonight. Hang on one second, friends. Gotta move something around real quick. Alright, there we go. Let's dissolve that. So yeah, here was the let me scoot that over just a skosh more. Today's high temperatures: 87 here in London at the Mesonet site, several upper 80s out in western Kentucky, 87 down in Knox County, 90 over in Owsley County. Austin Kendrick asking, just rain or some storms? Small chance of storms. Small chance of storms. Pam Banks saying she washed her car this evening, so it has to rain. Yeah. Robert Smith saying the radar mainly looked like northern Kentucky. I would agree. How's it looking for Milton, Kentucky? Very windy and a lot of thunder. We can pull that up real quick. Oh, you're right across the river from Madison. So yeah, you got You got a severe thunderstorm heading your way probably in about 20 to 30 minutes in Milton. Probably about 20 to 30 minutes. MX Playa on YouTube. So yeah, let's talk about the setup today. So we had all the heat in place, just ridiculous high temperatures today. We've got a lot, and I mean a lot, of heat available. We've got a cold front slamming into the region. Dew points, not super high, upper 50s. Typically in severe weather, I'm looking for like more mid 60s to upper 60s for severe weather, or at least widespread severe weather, so that will be a limiting factor. But there is enough heat and humidity there to trigger off these thunderstorms, especially along the cold front as it dives off to the south and the east. And once again, the greatest risk of severe weather tonight definitely looks like it's going to be in northern Kentucky, north of I-64. So if you live in London and Corbin, chances are this is not going to be severe by the time it gets down to us. Austin Kendrick asking, am I doing weather on KYT next weekend? Right now, that's the plan. If you got questions, be sure to ask. I'll try to answer those to the best of my ability. So let's talk about the current severe weather setup. We do have a severe thunderstorm watch for like the northern 3 counties of Kentucky up around Covington. That goes for a couple more minutes. Waiting to see if the Storm Prediction Center does anything else with watches. Kind of thinking if they were going to post a new watch, they would have done so already, but we shall see. We do have a slight risk. That is a 2 out of 5 on the severe weather scale. So once again, 2 out of 5, slight risk. Isolated, scattered, severe storms. Main concern tonight, hail and wind. The tornado threat is pretty minimum at this point. Really don't think the tornado threat is big. But in northern Kentucky, we do have that chance of severe weather, and we do have a marginal risk from like Evansville over to Owensboro, E-Town, Richmond, Berea, Lexington, Paintsville, Moorhead. So we at least have a small risk of severe weather into central Kentucky. I just think the best chance of severe weather tonight is going to be up north. Hey Dwayne, thanks for joining us. Buckhorn's not looking too bad tonight. I think these storms should die down as they push off to the south and the east. Now they are booking it too. Here's the 1 hour loop on these, so you can see they are moving with a purpose. Southeast 50 to 55 miles per hour. You're also probably getting ready to feel the wind gust ahead of these storms. Notice that little line of green showing up outside of Louisville. That's the outflow ahead of these storms. So you'll likely get a big gust of wind from that outflow, that rain-cooled air. And that's actually even sparking off some new thunderstorms right now, right on top of Madison and Vevey, Indiana, Carrollton, Kentucky, Warsaw, Kentucky, over towards Sparta, up around the Neely Family Distillery, if you guys know where that is. Kentucky Speedway, all that right there in that area. Hazard should be okay tonight, Deb and Harold. May have a few stronger storms early tomorrow morning, about 5, 6 in the morning, but I don't think it'll be severe by the time it gets down to y'all in Perry County. And that is one thing I am noticing looking at the radar trends with this, is you'll notice we're not seeing as bright a reds and pinks in these storms, so they are weakening a bit now that we've lost the heating of the day. So I don't think this is going to be a major severe weather event. Teresa, Pikeville, same story. You may have a few strong storms early tomorrow morning. In fact, we can switch back over to the future radar, kind of map out how this line should progress through the overnight. So we will switch over to that. So here's the future radar. This is what things should look like according to the high-resolution rapid refresh model. This is midnight, so you'll notice a little line of storms near Maysville, the main line crossing the Ohio River. That may be just a tick behind what actually happens. By like 2 or 3 in the morning, Georgetown, Lexington, you're seeing some strong storms. Frankfort, you're seeing some strong storms. 3 o'clock in the morning, Moorhead, pretty much along 64 from like Richmond to Moorhead over to Grayson, Olive Hill. By 5 o'clock, it's like moving into Pikeville and Prestonsburg, but you'll notice it's much, much weaker. And like here in London, maybe some sprinkles tomorrow morning, light showers. So it's really trying to dissipate that line as it moves southeast tomorrow. So I don't think this is going to be a bad severe weather event. I think this is just one we want to keep an eye on tonight for my friends in Northern Kentucky. Probably not going live tomorrow, Austin. We may have a short weather video tomorrow evening, just kind of setting the stage for the new work week. And I know a lot of schools week after next have spring break coming. I can tell you at least an early look at the forecast for spring break week, at least here in Laurel County. Probably mid to upper 60s, low 70s most of that week. So about where we should be or slightly above. We may have another cold snap this weekend. That might be our little redbud winter. So no warnings in Kentucky right now. We do have a few warnings remaining on the line as it's moving into northern Kentucky. This does include Decatur, Jackson, and Jennings counties up in southeast Indiana until 11:30. We're seeing 1-inch diameter hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. I will say the overall intensity of this line is weakening, which I think is a good thing. So I just wanted to pop on here, kind of calm people's nerves, because I know there is a lot of storm anxiety, especially in southern Kentucky. Don't think this is going to be bad for southern Kentucky. Northern Kentucky, this kind of looks like just typical run-of-the-mill spring thunderstorms. A lot of lightning, some gusty winds, maybe some smaller hail. if you have questions, be sure to ask them. Also, like and share if you enjoy the coverage. We appreciate all the help. Not looking like a major outbreak by any stretch of the imagination tonight. Austin, I am glad no more snow too. I think, hopefully, fingers crossed, we're done with the snow. By the way, new dragon fruit lemonade from Sonny's, 10 out of 10. Would recommend. Hashtag not sponsored. But that's some tasty lemonade right there. Got a couple of new severe thunderstorm warnings up in Ohio, up around Toledo. And Columbus. That's going to stay well north of us. Just to kind of describe what you're seeing on the radar, the little white lines are where each cell will be in an hour. We can see some different data on those. The plus signs are lightning strikes, so if you're seeing a lot of plus signs, lets you know that's a pretty intense storm because there's a lot of lightning in it. Hey, my pleasure, Robert. We'll stick around to 11:30 or midnight. Just keep an eye on these things. I got a feeling as the line crosses the Ohio River, we should see a lot of these warnings die out. And once they die out, we'll go ahead and wrap it up for the night. But just wanted to jump on here for my friends in northern Kentucky. Dwayne asking about the high temperatures. Going to be a bit chilly tomorrow, especially compared to the 80s we had today. We're talking mid-50s here in the southern part of the state. Probably low 50s to upper 40s up around northern Kentucky. We'll keep it that way again on Tuesday. Wednesday, back to the 60s, 70s. Likely on Thursday. We get a bit of a front in here Friday. That cools us off for the first half of the weekend. Back to the mid-50s. On Sunday, and then 60s next week, with some 70s by the end of the week. So, a little bit cooler in the short term. So if you have questions, pop into the chat and let me know. Do have a few thunderstorms rolling across the river, up near Carrollton and Sparta, right along 71, pretty much from Sulphur back over towards Warsaw, Verona, Walton, the 71-75 split. If you're north of the Walton exit up in Florence and Independence, you got rain. A little bit of a thunderstorm moving in, nothing severe. Owatton, you're probably seeing some lightning on the western horizon right now. Yeah, our highs this time of year should be into the low 60s. And just FYI, today at London, actually this is from Jackson. Jackson today hit 88, which was a new record, smashing the old record of 84. And London hit a new record of 87, breaking the old record of 82. A lot of records fell today across Kentucky. One of the warmest March days on record today. I know we took Eli out playing this afternoon, and I was wearing jeans, and I'm like, man, I need to be in shorts. Because it was toasty. So the good news is the overall line is weakening as it's progressing off to the east. Doesn't look like the National Weather Service up in Indiana or Indianapolis or Wilmington are super excited about pushing those severe thunderstorm warnings eastward, which that wouldn't hurt my feelings at all. We are seeing that line near Salem, Indiana, starting to kind of reorganize a little bit. That may get its act together as it moves into the northern end of the Louisville metro. So that's something we'll watch. Spent a lot of time up in Louisville the last week and a half. Had 2 conferences up there. Shout out to my TSA STEM Mass Media team for getting 7th in the state. Way to go, kiddos. Not to be confused with the TSA that's making everybody's life at the airports a living heck right now. So once again, if you're just joining us, meteorologist Shane Smith here with you. We are coming up on 11:10 East Coast time, tracking some strong thunderstorms moving into northern Kentucky. We do have one warning just across the state line over in southern Indiana, but it is set to expire here in about 20 minutes. We will probably continue coverage up until 11:30 or midnight, just based on what the storms are doing. But I just wanted to jump on and give folks a heads up. It's about to get a little stormy in northern Kentucky, but it shouldn't be too bad. Expecting some brief heavy rain, brief intense lightning, a couple of wind gusts pushing 50 to 60, and maybe some 1-inch diameter hail. Austin Kendrick asking over on YouTube, rain for Pikeville tomorrow? Just a little bit, Austin. Probably not even going to rain like 2 hours tomorrow morning. That line really should weaken as it moves to the southeast. Sean McClure, can't tell you how much I appreciate you doing this. We're lucky to have someone come in our area. My pleasure. If you like what we're doing, hit that subscribe button. Share the feed out on your social media streams. Every click helps. Obviously, we don't do it for the clicks, but it is nice to be of use to people. Kentucky is my home, and I want to make sure it is covered well. And I got a lot of friends up in southern Indiana, so that's wouldn't be lying if I said that was partially part of the equation while I jumped on tonight. Wanted to see how this line held together as it moved in. Got a pretty good little cell right now near Worthville. That's going to head across 227 over towards Dry Ridge in Williamstown in the next hour. So if you guys are over in Grant County, Kentucky, the northern end of Owen County, just be on the lookout. Decent little thunderstorm. Not a ton of lightning, but a little bit. Some brief heavy rain possible. A little bit of gusty winds, maybe a little small hail with that. That does look like it's going to roll right over Williamstown here in about 20-25 minutes or so. And if that holds together, it will be in Maysville in about an hour. The outflow boundary is moved across the Gene Snyder and is heading out to the Watterson right now in Metro Louisville. So you're probably getting ready to get some pretty strong wind from Jeffersontown over towards the airport, PRP. So just a heads up for any of my friends over in Jefferson County or the greater Louisville metro area. The core of the thunderstorm still off to the northwest, about 20-30 minutes out of town. Louisville Earth Movers, thanks for watching. Appreciate you. Oh, Glenda Gregory. Louisville on the 22nd floor. Lord have mercy, Glenda. Well, it should be a little bit of a fun ride. I don't think it'll get too bad there, but if it starts blowing too bad, just duck into the bathroom. Those hotels up there are designed to take quite a bit of wind. And the good news is, overall, the line does appear to be weakening as it is moving off to the east and southeast at about 50 miles per hour. So once they move in, they ain't going to last long, friends. Got some moderate to heavy rain starting to push in from Independence back down along 71. So up in northern Kentucky, Union's got a decent little cell. Crenton did. You're going to have a little thunderstorm in your neck of the woods here in about 5-10 minutes. Williamstown, about 20 minutes for you guys. Owenton, I think the worst of this is going to scrape by just north of town. So like down at the orchard at Monterey, y'all probably aren't going to get anything. There are certain parts of northern Kentucky I am a little too familiar with. There are other parts I need to explore more. Not going to be too bad in Perry County, Ethel. Maybe some gusty winds and a little bit of heavy rain tomorrow morning, about 4 or 5 in the morning, Perry County. So if you have questions, y'all, let me know in the chat. Let me know where you're watching from. Got 56 people joining us right now between the various platforms of YouTube and Facebook. Also, maybe trying to do a giveaway here on YouTube here in the next couple of weeks. I got to figure out some of the regulations about that because we just passed 1,000 subscribers over there, and I want to celebrate. I'm thinking about maybe giving away one of these. Good old-fashioned NOAA weather radio. This is one of the best things you guys can get. It's like a smoke detector, but for the weather. Curtis asking how things are looking for the Greater Echo Valley metropolitan area tonight. Down in Lilly, y'all should be fine. Maybe a little bit of thunderstorm action about 4 or 5 in the morning. And honestly, a lot of the future models are trying to dissipate it before it gets into London, Corbin, Lilly, Keavy, my stomping grounds. So shouldn't be too bad down around where I grew up tonight. As I mentioned, if you're just joining us, we do have a little bit of a squall line of thunderstorms moving in to northern Kentucky right now ahead of a cold front. We had record heat across the state today. Several locations went into the mid to upper 80s, broke all kinds of records. We're not just talking about a degree or two. We're talking some of those records fell 5-6 degrees. One of the warmest March days ever on record today. You live through history today. We'll probably post a quick update tomorrow night, Austin. If you guys don't follow my content usually, I try to post about 4 to 5 nights a week. Little short form updates on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. About 2 nights a week, I will do a longer form video on YouTube and Facebook, and then whenever there's severe weather or a bigger event, winter weather, I'll try to go live on YouTube and Facebook. So YouTube and Facebook are my two main platforms, but we actually just crossed the 1,000 follower threshold on TikTok as well. So thank you everybody that follows me over on the talk. And the good news is that severe thunderstorm warning in southern Indiana was expired. So right now, no active warnings, which is good news. We're probably going to stay on then until like between 11:30 and 11:45. Just make sure this line, as it moves into Louisville, doesn't get any out of hand. Also for my friends over in Dry Ridge, Williamstown, Crittenden, heads up. Going to have a little bit of a thunderstorm blow through here in about 10 minutes or so. Maybe a little less. Some gusty winds with that. Gusty winds. The good news is the hail probability is only showing ½ inch instead of 1 inch. Kind of wild how fast that cell is moving. It is moving south or east at 63 knots. That's close to 70 miles per hour. It is a booking it. It's got places to go and people to see. So it looks like the heaviest of the action right now up in Gallatin County, getting ready to cross into Grant County. Coming out of Carroll County. Emma on YouTube asking, can you check Hamilton, Ohio? No weather people around here are saying anything, and your stream popped up with searching. Okay, Emma, give me just 1 second, and I will pop things up for good old Hamilton, Ohio. All right, Miss Emma. Luckily for you, no active warnings in Cincinnati or the greater Cincinnati metro area. Do have a little bit of a strong thunderstorm on top of you right now. Give that about 5-10 minutes. The worst of it will blow on through. Some lingering rain and gusty winds and a little bit of lightning for the next couple of hours. But nothing severe, just a kind of a strong spring thunderstorm up in Hamilton, Ohio. They're just north of Cincinnati, between Cincinnati and Dayton. Well, due north of Cincinnati. So I hope that helps you out, ma'am. It's Lucky on YouTube asking, will Richmond be affected by this tonight? Yeah. Let me pop up the future radar. Let's see if the newest run is in just yet. Yep. Hang on 1 second. We're going to do a little producing on the fly. All right. So, I use a couple of different apps. It's Lucky for my radar, like real-time radar. I use an app called Radar Omega. It's pretty good for just kind of tracking what's going on right now. And for this future radar that you've got pulled up right now, this is an app called Aguacera Weather. And it allows me to look at like model data and some future data. So this is the HRRR, the high resolution rapid refresh. This is a future radar product from it, and it's showing some thunderstorms rolling through Richmond between 3 and 5. Nothing severe, just some brief heavy rain, gusty winds, a little bit of lightning, maybe some small hail as that line moves through tonight in Richmond. Campbell County, Kentucky, now under a severe thunderstorm warning. Also Claremont, Ohio. Emma says have some weather anxiety because of the Crittenden tornado. Yep, I remember that one. I don't blame you. We had that EF4 roll through here in London last year in May, so I understand. I totally get it. So, happy to answer some weather questions outside my coverage area if I can. So, here's that new severe thunderstorm warning. Barely covers the northernmost tip of Campbell County. Like, if you were on the 275 line, you're not technically in the polygon. And not barely from like Fort Thomas to the north is. So I don't even think like Augusta's in it. Bellevue, Newport, Dayton, Rossford, Cincinnati Municipal, Lunken Airport. You're in it. But yeah, like that's barely getting the Cincinnati Metro. And like honestly, the worst of that storm is north of Cincinnati proper. Let me switch over to the Wilmington radar to get a little bit of a better look at that. Yeah, like there's maybe some 60 mile per hour winds embedded in that. Penny-sized hail. Worst of it's going to be up near Milford. So, I mean, if you are on the 275 loop on the east side of Cincinnati, just be aware that is going to cause some issues out there here in about 10-15 minutes or so. Should be crossing 71 from Cincinnati up to like Mason at Kings Island here in like the next 5 minutes. Radar Omega has a free option, but some of the more powerful tools are Subscriber, Austin, and Aguacero Weather is a subscription. 85 today in Danville. Yeah, we got up to 87 here in London today. So definitely was a toasty day. Tomorrow we're going to be in the 50s for highs. Well, at least in the afternoon. Highs are going to happen like right at midnight for most spots tonight. So if you're just joining us, meteorologist Shane Smith here with you. I'm based out of London, Kentucky. I am tracking weather in Kentucky. Watching just one little renegade severe thunderstorm moving through the northern Cincinnati area that is including portions of, I believe that was Boone County, or no, Campbell County. Yep, northern Campbell County. And we do have a decent little thunderstorm north of Owenton, west of Williamstown, not severe. The greater Louisville metro area, downtown, probably about 10 to 15 minutes away from a thunderstorm crossing the Ohio River. Sure, you're seeing a lot of lightning on the northern horizon tonight. Yes, we're back to sweater weather tomorrow. We're going from shorts today to sweaters tomorrow. Welcome to the Kentucky weather. Hope you enjoy it. If you don't like it, wait 15 minutes. It's going to change. And you can experience all 4 seasons in one day. Just unreal. Thank you guys for joining us. If you like what I do, be sure to like and subscribe. I try to pop on here whenever we got some severe weather or winter weather going on across Kentucky. Don't always do a daily update, but usually do a quick little update most days for a check of the forecast. So if you're looking for some no hype, just good old honest Kentucky weather know-how. That's what I try to provide. I've been doing this professionally since 2008. Was a broadcast meteorologist full-time for 7 years and been a freelancer and part-timer ever since then. So 15 years of watching the weather professionally, and well, I wanted to be a meteorologist since I was 4, and I'm going on 40 this year, friends. So 35 years experience. There you go. I may or may not have helped teach the weather unit in my 2nd grade science class. At least that's what I've been told. So if you're just joining us looking at the radar going, what does all this stuff mean? Green is light precipitation. Yellow is kind of moderate rain. The oranges and reds start getting into heavier rain. The reds into the purples can be small hail or very heavy rain. The plus signs are lightning strikes. White is within the last 5 minutes. The oranges and reds within the last 30. Yellows within the last 10. The white lines are storm tracks. Each hash mark is 15 minutes from the point of origin of the storm. So like on this cell here, U5, you can see you got 15 minutes till this storm's going to be just north of Williamstown, and honestly less than that because this is a little bit of an older scan now, waiting for the newest scan to come in. Doppler radar takes about 5 minutes to get a complete scan of the atmosphere, give you updated data cutting into those storms, because you're not just looking at it at the surface. You're going from the surface all the way up to 30,000 feet plus in the atmosphere. Take some time to scan, tilt the dish up, scan, tilt the dish up, and get a complete, what we call volumetric scan of the atmosphere. At least until we get phased array radar. Then life gets a lot more interesting and fun as a meteorologist. So I think right now the plan is we're going to watch these storms a little bit longer. I will probably stop streaming around 11:45 if they're behaving themselves. The good news is the overall presentation on the line is weakening. Here's the last hour loop, and you can see we're not getting as much lightning. The reds are not as widespread or as bright. We've lost the heating of the day, so temperatures are beginning to cool off, and that should help these thunderstorms to weaken. Shannon H. on YouTube reporting high wind and rain here in southern Indiana, greater Louisville metro area. Yep, that storm should be crossing the river any second into downtown. I'm sure if you're like staying at the Galt House right now or any of those tall tower hotels, the Omni in Louisville, I'd say you're seeing a nice show on the northern horizon right now. Once again, most of these storms are going to pack some brief heavy rain, potential for some small hail, maybe penny size, nickel size. Gusty winds, 50, 55 miles per hour, a little bit of brief intense lightning, some brief heavy rain. It's going to be nice for Pikeville tomorrow. Yeah, once the rain moves out, Austin, I mean, it's going to be a little cooler. Probably cloudy to start the day, probably partly sunny to end the day, mid-50s. In the afternoon, Heather asking about Shepherdsville. We can zoom the radar in, show you what's heading your way right now. Okay, so Shepherdsville is kind of in an interesting scenario right now. because the bulk of the precipitation is off to your north. Let me switch to the National Radar Composite real quick to answer this question. So there's the bulk of the line right now in northern Kentucky. We get back towards Evansville, Owensboro, Paducah. You guys are probably going, Shane, why are you on here wasting your breath? It ain't doing much. And you'd be correct. The line is kind of breaking right at I-64. Now, some of this will eventually dip south of 64. We'll see a little bit of action, but not much. So, like in Shepherdsville, even though you got a pretty good little thunderstorm on the north side of Louisville right now, don't think it's going to do too much in Shepherdsville. You may have some brief heavy rain here in a little bit, but honestly, the worst of it's staying to your north, and unless the radar fills into your west, you ain't getting much. So, Heather, count your blessings. I don't think you're going to see a whole lot tonight. Bet you probably had a good little wind gust just come through, though. That little green on the radar there is what we call an outflow boundary. This is the wind ahead of that line of thunderstorms. So it just rolled through Shelbyville, Taylorsville, Shepherdsville, Radcliffe. It'll be moving through E-Town and Bardstown here in the next 15-20 minutes or so. A little bit of outflow from the thunderstorms. Outflow just being that rain-cooled air kind of ejects out in front of the storm. Yeah, I'm not surprised it's windy there because of that outflow. Shively, Kentucky. Uno momento, por favor. Yeah, that's a little bit closer, but I think the worst of it will go north of you. You may get a little action from this cell that's just northwest of Cordon, Indiana. That may dip down onto the west end of Louisville. So just heads up for that. That's still probably a good, if it's going to hit, 30, 45 minutes away. So we are back to no active warnings in Kentucky right now, which is good. Nothing really much for London tonight, Sierra. Getting some questions about green up. Hang on one second. I can pull up green up. And guys, give me just a second. I'll try to get to your questions as soon as I can. Green up, you're probably going to have a decent little thunderstorm here in about 2 or 3 hours. Some heavy rain and gusty winds, but nothing too major. Shannon saying pouring now in South Indiana and Louisville. Yep, not surprised. Pretty windy in Hillview. Thanks, Shauna, for that report. Lexington, Parker, not doing anything right now. Y'all probably have some storms there about 3 in the morning, 2, 3 in the morning, if the future radar's right. JCTMS, I'm not familiar what that acronym stands for. Got a lot of wind damage coming in Mount Washington. Thank you for Stanton will probably have a decent little line of storms to move through about 2 or 3 in the morning. Not looking too severe, but just some strong thunderstorms. At least 3 broke trees. Where was that at, Aaliyah? So yeah, Louisville is catching the worst of the storm right now, especially on the north side of town. Looks like the worst of it's going to roll through here about Crestwood or LaGrange in the next 15 to 20 minutes. Loud thunder in Campbellsburg. I believe that. These storms do have quite a bit of lightning with them, especially in northern Kentucky right now. Pretty good thunderstorm in Williamstown, Dry Ridge, Crittenden. That's going to push over towards Falmouth here in the next little bit. Whoops. Yeah, pretty good thunderstorm on top of Dry Ridge right now. Nothing severe, just kind of run-of-the-mill spring thunderstorm. Strong winds, 50 miles per hour, some heavy rain, a little bit of lightning, Megan. Shanna, thank you for subscribing. If y'all enjoy what I do, hit that subscribe button. I try to jump on here, talk about Kentucky weather at least a couple times a week with little short video updates, and I do 1 or 2 long video updates and then a week. And then when we do severe weather, try to jump on when I can. Also a full-time school teacher, so if it's happening during the day, that does make things a little bit more challenging. Teach media arts down in Laurel County. Jessica Bell, new subscriber on YouTube. Thank you for joining us. So yeah, I've been Shayna, new subscriber. Thank you. Yeah, I've been a professional meteorologist since 2008, friends, so coming up on 20 years. Might not be doing TV full-time anymore. You can still catch me occasionally on WKYT in Lexington and WYMT in Hazard. I'll actually be filling in for them this weekend. A little bit of rain heading your way about 4 or 5 in the morning, Austin. Hopefully here in a second we can take the old severe thunderstorm tracker back over there down to 0. So the good news is, folks, these storms are not severe. They are strong. You're definitely seeing some gusty winds. 40, 50 miles per hour are likely. For a thunderstorm to be severe, the textbook definition is 58 miles per hour, 50 knots. Peak wind gust here in the last little bit. Seeing a couple 30, 40 mile per hour gusts. Had right at 40 miles per hour, just shy in Shelby County. 42, Shelby County North. 34 mile per hour gust in the last hour in Owenton. This is courtesy of the Kentucky Mesonet. If you're not familiar with that, highly encourage you to check them out. They are based out of Western Kentucky University. They have a high-density weather network. The eventual goal to have a real-time weather reporting station in every county in Kentucky. So that's an awesome project. Been a big fan of them for years. They've got real-time data. We actually have a Mesonet in the front yard at our school. Super proud of that. So once again, we are tracking some moderate to heavy rain, a little bit of intense lightning, and some gusty winds in excess of 40 to 50 miles per hour up into the greater Louisville metro area. A lot of that is moving towards I-71 right now, so folks in LaGrange, Carrollton, Sparta, Warsaw, you got another little round of action heading your way. I know folks over towards Williamstown, Dry Ridge probably got woke up from those thunderstorms if they were already asleep. That will weaken out, but you do have another line heading your way about 30-45 minutes. It's probably going to be a 2 cup of coffee morning for a lot of folks up in northern Kentucky. These thunderstorms may be a little loud. They may wake you up if you go to bed. If you do go to bed while this is going on, highly recommend getting one of these. Midland Weather Radio. It's like a smoke detector for your house, but for the weather. You can program your county in there. It'll send you a warning anytime. Eddie asking, where's the large hail? Right now, I've not seen any reports of large hail in Kentucky. I can pull up, if you'll give me just 1 second. Here's the local storm reports over the last 3 hours. There have been a couple of 1 to 1 3/4 inch hail reports up in portions of Indiana, back over near Washington, Indiana. A lot of 1 inch hail reports up in central Ohio and central Indiana. Some 60 mile per hour wind gust reports near Columbus and Bloomington. Vonda, I teach high school media arts, so I have sophomores, juniors, and seniors. Oh, and I can pull that up for you in just a second, Vonda. Sorry about that. Let me swap radar sources real quick. So, Loveland, Ohio. Yeah, you had a pretty good little thunderstorm just roll through there northeast of Cincinnati. Let's switch over to the Wilmington radar. Oh yeah, that was a good little boomer. Probably some 40-45 mile per hour winds with that. Some heavy rain. You got another little impulse heading your way. Here in about 20 minutes. It's west of Forest Park right now. Won't be as intense. May shake the house a little bit. May get another little burst of heavy rain. Then after that, the worst should be past good old Loveland, Ohio, up in the Buckeye State. Hope that helps you out. Always happy to help my neighbors out, even if you are across the state line. Pretty good little intense line there. Right along Sulphur, Campbellsburg, Werfel, Turner Station, right along 71 near Carrollton. That'll be in Owenton here in about 25 minutes or so. Lost power in Jefferson County. Aaliyah, hang on. Let me check for you. Do have another little impulse coming through Louisville here in about the next 20-30 minutes. It's currently over in Georgetown, Indiana right now. And there is a little bit more action building off to the west, but that should be, once we get this next little burst through, that should be the worst of it. You may have a couple more little rounds of heavy rain and some brief wind, but that first round should be the strongest. Questions about J-Town? Yeah, here in about 20-30 minutes, that same cell that's over Georgetown will be in J-Town. So that'll, it's moving to the southeast, looks like about 50 to 60 miles per hour. So that should cross most of Jefferson County here in about the next 30 minutes or so. Yeah, Vonda. So the worst of it up your way should be done. There may be another little cell or two, but the worst should be through your part of Ohio. And if you guys have questions, be sure to post them in the chat. I will try to answer them as I can. Yahoo Weather, not my favorite weather app. Highly recommend supporting your local TV station. A lot of them have great weather apps. I know I personally recommend in the Louisville metro area, Wave 3. They've got a great team up there. Greater Cincinnati, Fox 19. Some really good folks over there. Although I do have a few friends at Channel 5 as well. Love you, Allison and Adam. And in Lexington, WKYT, Hazard, WYMT, Bowling Green, WBKO. So some of your local TV stations, their apps are awesome because they will give you alerts when severe weather is issued for your area, even if you're traveling. As long as you have your location services turned on, so that is super helpful. Alright, Renata Ashley 9420 reporting pea-sized hail in Corden, Indiana. Stacy Robinson on YouTube saying I'm in Hillview, very windy. Seeing lightning, no thunder. Yeah, a lot of this still on the horizon, still several miles away from Hillview. So that's why you're seeing it, probably not hearing it. As that storm gets a little closer to downtown, I would expect some thunder to roll in, although there are not as many lightning strikes with this cell as there was earlier. Up in Sparta, about 10-15 minutes, you're going to have another little good impulse come through, some heavy rain, a little bit of brief intense lightning, some brief gusty winds, then that'll push on out. I will be on WKYT this week in Austin, and we will be simulcasting on WYMT. So you can catch me on either. Just had a 58 mile per hour wind gust in Covington. Just saw that report come across the wire. That's some potent wind. Wonder if that was at the Cincinnati airport. Harrison County Mesonet site just recorded a 53 mile per hour wind gust. No tornadoes expected with this. Underwood, Indiana. Hang on one second. Looks like there was some gusts of possibly 40 to 45 in Underwood as that line moved through. That should be the strongest of the wind tonight for y'all. Austin, we are live on Saturday from 6 to 8 and Sunday from 7 to 9. So we are tracking pretty much two little mini bow echo lines. One from Carrollton down to Crestwood. That's got some 40 to 50 mile per hour wind gust in it. And then one from about Lexington, Indiana, down towards Corden, Indiana. That's getting ready to move through Louisville. That one's also got some 40 to 45 mile per hour winds and some heavy rain. Although not as much lightning, so that cell is not as intense as the lead cell heading towards Owenton. Alright, y'all, so here's the game plan. As long as we have no active warnings, I am going to wrap this up at midnight. Just have your phone set to alert mode, have a good weather app downloaded. If there's any warnings issued, it'll give you a heads up, or if you got a Midland weather radio, have that in alert mode. It'll give you a heads up if there are any warnings. Pretty weak compared to a tornado. Stacy, an EF0, just for reference. I don't want to misspeak here, so let me... An EF0 is like 65 to 85 miles per hour. EF1, 86 to 110. EF2, 110 to 135. EF3, 136 to 165. EF4, 166 to 200. EF5, 200 miles per hour plus. So that's weaker than a weak tornado. All right, guys. So I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you all so much for joining us. If you've enjoyed the coverage, hit like or subscribe. And I will have a weather update tomorrow night telling you about what to expect for the week to come. So check in. Till next time.